What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Team Solemn Circus live video. On the left side here, we have White Forest Azamina going up against Regenesis Kashtira. It's going to be a deck that's gaining a little bit more popularity. We are seeing that on the channel. Both of these decks have done quite well on people watching the videos on the channel. So hopefully this is also going to be a good video for you guys. Before we dive in too deep, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Helps channel a lot around the 10K. We are going to be seeing White Forest Azamina and putting the die roll here. Going to be going first. And it looks like we are going to be seeing a copy of Engraver in the hand, so also including the copies of a Fiendsmith package in this build. We are going to be seeing that activated right now. This is going to be at a regionals as well, going to be a coverage. I believe this is the first table, and this was around about 4 or 5. If you guys want to see these deck profiles, I believe that the White Forest one is up on the channel already. We're going to be seeing them search for a copy of Sank. This is going to summon a token there, which is going to be pretty important because we are not playing the track in this build. This is the budget variation of the Fiendsmith lines. We're going to see the Sank going to be activated now, and the token does get summoned. This is going to be a late Fiend, and we do see a copy of Fua being dropped there. So trying to drop that before we end up going to the extra deck, letting us get an additional draw off that. They're essentially replenishing its hand, but are they going to be able to summon more from the deck or extra deck here? We are going to be seeing a Deception get activated, and they're going to treat off the token to end up searching their deck for a Hallowed Azamina instead. So not even wanting to play into that Fua, going for that Fiendsmith combo, because, you know, that Fiendsmith combo does give you multiple draws, regardless it being just like the one off of the Requiem, and then if you want to continue, it's like the second off the Lacrima, and then you have to go into the Caesar, and that way you normally have to go up into, I guess in this case, yeah, you would have to still go for the, oh, you wouldn't have to go for it too, because we went for the Engraver, so I guess you could go for either a Caesar or a Sequence, which could be on 3 in that case, so either 2 or 3, but we're going to search for a copy of the Azamina fusion instead. So not even going for the Hallowed Azamina. Then we're going to go up into the summon out of Roselio or whatever it's called. Then we're going to go up into a synchro of the Bat one here. And then we're going to activate the effect, allowing us to attribute a spell to search our deck, as well as also having the Elzette search here for a Sinful Spoils. So we're going to be able to add potentially the field spell, it looks like, for their hand of the White Forest, which is very nice. A very, very powerful card. We're going to take a second to read these. I mean, we all have to read the White Forest cards from time to time. I still don't exactly know their names. I know what the effects really do, but that's going to be it. So we see the field spell being searched off the Synchro, and then, of course, the Wanted being searched off of the Elzette there. We're going to see the field spell activated, which is a search on activation, but also is going to be a send, which is very important here, because we can't just send it to the graveyard to kind of continue our play, which is going to be absolutely incredible. This is going to be one of the newer cards here, one of the Diabels. A very nice card that is also a White Forest card, I should mention. Then we're going to be seeing it summon itself by sending. And yeah, like, this deck is really cool. The fact that we like kind of merged the Diabel stars into the deck. Like, we have Vengeance, which is going to be the art on the left side there. It provides a pop now, but it does pay half their life points. It can be definitely rough to do it. And we do send the trap to the graveyard here. This is going to be like the Diabels. And there is like these, I think it's a spell, a monster, and a trap. We're going to see the trap, or search for here, the spell. And then we're going to activate that there, allowing us to add the Vengeance to the deck to the hand, which is very nice. And then we'd summon out by banishing a spell and a trap card, which is going to be what this kind of combo provided here. But now we go for a Wanted now, which can let us search for a Diabel Star. And this is also going to be a Diabel's monster as well, so for the Vengeance and like the other spell, the other card here, summon out that Synchro is pretty nice as well. But now we can summon out the Vengeance from the graveyard, which is also nice, so it's going to be a free send for Diabel Star, which you are going to be seeing this happen right now, which is pretty cool. Mind you, you have to banish a spell and trap regardless on where it is summoned from. But we're going to be able to set the Morian here off that Diabel Star. And then we can actually send it to the graveyard off this as well and then reset it because we do control that illusion monster here, which is also pretty cool. Now we did get one draw off of the Fua here. But now we're going to be summoning or bouncing back to summon. And we do summon out the copy of Silvera here once again. Or this is the Roselio. But then we're going to be sending the trap to then summon it as well. And this will be... Or no, it doesn't send a trap. It lets him draw. Okay. We can always just set the trap once again, though, because we do control that illusion monster, which is important. And they set the trap as a Morian is a Book of Moon. We do link these two away now. but I believe we are locking the synchros with it. That's why they just were not able to do that. We do see reset, and then we're going to be banishing a spell and a trap to summon out or reactivate talents here. First, we see a Regenesis Sage, a Fenrir, a Unicorn, a Regenesis, and another Unicorn. So having 2 Unicorns in the hand and a Fenrir, we're going to be seeing the Regenesis spell going to be put back into the deck there, because Sage is not going to be that good. And then, of course, having this couple of those Kashtira bricks here, but also having the Moria and being able to flip face down one of those Kashtira monsters can be definitely just beneficial. We're going to see the spell and trap being banished now, some with the copy of the Vengeance, and then now we go up into the Moon, and that's going to give them an additional draw off that Fua, and they draw once again into that Regenesis spell that you just end up putting back here, and then we do draw them now, and then we can go into the Fiendsmith combo at this point now, which is going to be the Requiem, and yeah, we're finally going to start comboing off with the Fiendsmith cards, because we did draw them here. They gave them 2 draws, which is kind of funny that we end up putting back the card and drawing into it anyways here. That always feels like kind of bad, but we're going to be seeing go up into a Caesar, or going up into a sequence, not choosing the Caesar line for that Desiree. Now, Desiree did get to look at her hand, so we're not worried about the nib, and it doesn't really make that much of a difference. We actually also have a pop as well on the field, so when we look at what we have on the field with no cards in the hand, we have the Morian, which is going to be a Book of Moon. We have the copy of the Vengeance, which is going to be as long as the other Diablos on the field. Going to be a pop by paying off for life points, as well as summoning a Synchro monster from the extra deck, which can be very cool. And we have the Desiree for 2. So we also have the Fiendsmith Paradise and the Graveyard for follow-up, and we'll want it as well for a 1 draw. So pretty important. And the Desiree Sun, if it does go to the Graveyard, is also going to be an interaction here. We have quite a lot of cards to deal with this. We do draw into an Archfiend, it looks like, from the side. And we do see the Unicorn being summoned out here. A very easy Book of Moon from the player side. With all players kind of understanding this is how it's going to go. We are going to be seeing the Sage can be summoned out there. And this is going to be very much met with the copy of Vengeance. Going to be trying to pop that card. Want to make sure that card is going to be gone pretty quickly here, which we are going to be seeing them activate there. And they are going to target, paying half their life points at this. And we could respond with Sage, getting rid of that Regenesis in the hand, because we do have the Archfiend that are continue our plays, but they are going to see them negate it with the Sage. I feel like we're forced to Desiree this, which we are going to be seeing. And we're going to be seeing them going to be special coming out from the extra deck here. Most likely going to be a Poplar in this case. This can put 2 white force cards or monsters in our spell and trap cards on continuous spells, but most likely not wanting to do that. Only kind of want to do it when you have a bunch of the white force cards in your graveyard here. Also the secondary effect that can quick synchro here. So we're going to be seeing the Regenesis Archfiend going to activate and summon itself out, and it's going to let us search for another Regenesis monster, regardless being the most likely in this case wanting to be the Warrior, so we can bounce back Desiree to the extra deck, so we just not get these send here. Search for the code. I meant same thing, I think. Does it really matter? Okay. We're going to be adding the code. I guess it does summon from the deck, so we do have the opportunity to summon later. Now, we don't have any cards in the hand, so it will be hard for us to kind of negate that. We do see the Vengeance going to be made now. This simply just pushes something into the spell and trap card zone, and then just pops a monster in spell and trap if we get to the battle phase, which I believe we're most likely not going to be going to. We have a whole bunch of different cards that kind of can continue off here. We're going to see a tribute summon for a Unicorn. That's not something that I thought we'd see at all, to be honest. Let's let us search for a copy of Birth. I always forget that you can tribute summon face down monsters for a tribute summon. It's always something I just completely forget about. We're going to see Birth going to be activated now. And then we are going to summon out the copy of Unicorn. And now we still have the Fenrir in the hand, and we have all cards known on the field now. So the gameplay is very much open. At this point, it's going to be which one of these players has either the enough interactions or the skill to kind of maneuver through these boards. Nothing really is left other than the Vengeance push back in this case, and we definitely want to abuse that. We're trying to push it out with a copy of the number 11, I believe, the Big Eye here. Vengeance is pretty much forced to push that back. making it so that we just cannot just lose our monster here. But that's going to allow them to just summon out the copy of Fenrir and put pressure on the board here as well. We do see the on summon drop of the Paradise, dumping that copy of Engraver. So we do have the follow-up now for the next turn. Then we're going to see the push back there of the Big Eye. And then we can summon out the copy of Fenrir like we always thought we were going to happen anyways. And let's go let us search for a copy of either a Unicorn or another Fenrir, depending on what we kind of have left in our deck. I would say that we should summon out a copy of the Unicorn. We're actually opting to go for Fenrir. We might be only playing 2 and 2 at this point. I don't exactly know the ratios, but still everything's going to be known. We have the code which can summon itself out still, and that's going to allow us to summon either the Warrior or any other one. I believe we want to go for the Warrior though over the Dragon to kind of bounce back that Desiree. We're going to be seeing the Warrior there going to be summoned. I suppose you could also bounce back the Vengeance Dragon, so it just doesn't activate in the battle phase, because you want to find a way to force out that copy of Fenrir. But we want to be able to use that Fenrir, I should say. We're going to see the Warrior bounce back that Vengeance Dragon there, wanting to use that Fenrir, potentially banishing, but we can't banish the Desiree there because it is with Sequence. They thought about banishing the Sequence there, but we're going to be seeing them banish that face down instead, the White Forest monster. That is decent. I believe it does have the ability to summon itself back out from the graveyard. If you control monster, you can also Harvard you control 2 more Diabolical monsters. No, only from the hand, okay. But if it's sent to the graveyard, or no, nothing, okay. So just really just getting rid of it because we can't banish this. We should have banished the Sequence there. I think that is also... Yeah, 25, okay. Yeah, and I suppose that the Diabels was bigger. It was at 3,000. So we do kind of let that resolve. And we're going to go for draw for turn, put back with Wanted. And then we do normal summon with a Lacrima. Not only the best draw for us. That's going to dump the Engraver. I wonder if we shuffled back correctly off of that Sequence. I find that we tend not to do it. Definitely going to be misplays a lot of the time. We do see the Engraver being shuffled back to summon. And then we are going to try to go for a Fenrir banish at this point. Right? Now they're going to let it resolve. So we're going to go up into a Chaos Angel. Now this is going to be a light Chaos Angel here. I believe this means that our Synchro monsters are unaffected by monsters effects that our opponent activates. Now we're going to go for a battle phase, dealing some damage, bringing them down to 41. And now we still are losing on the side of the White Forest player because we're at 4,000 ourselves. But just passing turn on this. Now they have gotten rid of the Birth because we did banish it off the Chaos Angel. But they still have another Fenrir to summon itself out. That's going to allow us to search for that last copy of Unicorn. So playing 2 and 3 it looks like. But having Ash in the hand is not going to be that good for us. We normal summon the Ash, so once again, the last card is going to be known. And what Synchros do we play? It looks like we play a copy of Cheng Ying. This could be good because we do have a lot of banished cards on the opponent's side. 1 banish on our side here, but it can also just be a big body. Also another way to kind of get rid of the Chaos Angel there. But look at the difference here. We do attack over the Desiree here, dealing him down now to 28. And we cannot bring the Desiree effect. Are we going to do that here? I feel like we kind of have to. We're going to Desiree effect. Then they can summon back the Unicorn. So, that's kind of rough. We're going to say put back the Sequence. And then we summon out the copy of Unicorn here in main phase 2. Letting us search for a copy of Theosis now. There's no way we have. Do we have another Fenrir in the deck? It looks like we do. Okay, we're going to go for now. He summoned a Fenrir. So we have used all of the Kashtira engine at this point. And then we have to find a way to kind of out this Chaos Angel. We're going for Regenesis, summon back out the Archfiend at this point by banishing itself. And we're going to let it activate the effect now, allowing us to search our deck. Now we are playing the bigger guy here. Actually, I don't even know its name. Lord. Okay. We banish to summon out, and then get to set a Regenesis spell and trap, and then that's going to need to be able to set the trap there, the birth. I mean, let's just definitely turn this around. We're going to be seeing the engraver put back the Desiree to summon itself out, and this is going to be met with probably the unicorn here, getting rid of one of the extra deck cards, and we're looking at what we have in our engraver, and we just scoop it up there, not wanting to reveal that extra deck. I mean, at that point, it definitely makes sense. Like, when you really think of what we had Birth, and Birth is, if you guys have not seen it, Regenesis Birth is going to be an absolutely crazy card. You send one Regenesis monster from your deck to your graveyard, target one, change to defense position. Then during your opponent's turn, you can send this card from the graveyard to as many monsters as possible, different names from your hand, graveyard, and or banishment. That's going to be able to summon back out the copy of Sage, as well as the copy of Warrior here, and potentially a Dragon as well. So having the ability to bounce back a monster to the hand, a negate, and then also having the ability to like destroy a spell and trap, which can be very good in this matchup here as well. So also, like, I want to point out that the other monsters are going to be adding themselves back to the hand during the end phase of that turn. So a lot of follow-up there, not worth revealing your extra deck as well when you don't think you can kind of win it. And we saw the Thunder Banish as well. We're going to be seeing in Game 2 the White Forest deck going to be going first. Once again, a copy of Prelia being dropped in the draw phase. One of the better Mulcharmies. It's crazy how we originally thought that the copy of Fuo was going to be the best. And then we have like Prelia and even Meows right now, which is going to be absolutely crazy. We do see them activate Deception there, triggering out that Vengeance, letting us search our deck. And we really don't want to summon from the hand, but most decks summon from the hand at least once or twice these days. Sometimes even more. We see like Ryziel and Misaguri even summoning like 3 to 4 times from the hand there, which is going to be pretty nutty. We do see how Azamina sending Deception, which is going to be able to reset itself again during the end phase here. And we do droll on resolution of that search for Hallowed Azamina. Interesting that we chose to droll ourselves, but it felt like we weren't going to be able to add any cards there anyways, so the way they're kind of playing. So it definitely makes sense in this case because the Azamina cards can just add a whole bunch of stuff here. Now we do summon out 2 times from the hand off of this after that droll. We do not worry about that copy of Prelia anymore. And now we go for the full Fiendsmith package here, going up into the Moon, up into Requiem. Then we're going for Lacrima up the Engraver here. And we're going to look like we're going for Sequence once again, not choosing that Caesar. Now that makes sense because we are playing the Kashtira cards and they do not activate the summon. Therefore, we cannot negate them. So kind of want to negate the cards on the field is going to be definitely important here. Now a reminder that they have burned through 2 cards in their hand, leaving them down to 4 cards for opening. We have 2 kind of negates on the field, being in form of the Hallowed Azamina that summoned out the copy of Silvera, which can tribute itself off, and then also the copy of Desiree, which is going to be 2 negates, and follow up in the form of the Deception as well. Being able to put back the Azamina to add itself back to the hand here too, which also 1 card in the hand. You know, you never want to kind of forget about those 1 cards. It can be quite nice. Now we do see Super Poly in the Regenesis Kashtira build as well, so that definitely could provide a big negate in the case of just getting rid of both the bodies. I'm not exactly sure how we're going to go for that. It looks like they have another copy of Droll and a Prelia in their hand. So we're going to see the Unicorn going to be summoned out, and this is going to be one of the better monsters to summon. Applying a lot of pressure on the field with just by 1 body. It's honestly amazing how these cards have not been hit when they've been around for so long. And then also having the synergy with these 2500s is obviously quite sick. We're going to see them activate the effect, allowing them to search their deck for a Birth or a Theosis. We're going to negate with Desiree. Okay. Now, Silvera does have 19 attack, so it can be beat over. But if it does get beat over, we're going to be able to add a Sinful Spoil's Trap from the deck to the hand, which is going to be important. Now, we do go for a Typhon here, which means summoning is going to be over for the rest of this turn. They're going to be seeing the Typhon attempting to bounce back. And then they're going to try to bounce back the Silvera here. We do negate with Silvera, most likely. We want that card in the graveyard so we can put it back with Hallowed Azamina. Now we're going to attack into the Typhon, and that's going to make us take 100. Then we're going to activate the effect of the Desiree, shuffling back to send the type 1 to the graveyard. Now he's just set one card and pass turn here. Now most likely that card is going to be a set super probably. We do see the Lacrima going to be tagging out, doing that Requiem shuffle here. Just allowing us to dump a copy of Engraver. Now we do go Engraver, shuffle back, summon out the copy of itself, and this is most likely going to be met with that copy of the Super Poly here, as I figured as much. And then we are going to let that resolve. We cannot respond to it. We send that copy of Fuelos to the graveyard, summon out a Garua here. But can we continue playing? We do have the Howlet Azamina to add back. And then we activate the Elzette, summon herself out, which is going to be herself plus another. And this is going to essentially be full White Forest combo, if you guys do not know. And they are going to take a second to kind of read this here. Look in the game to kind of see what they have. And we have only one card left in the hand, which is not going to do very much for us. But we'll search the deck for a White Forest spell. It's going to be the field spell here. It's going to be an add as well as a send. They're going to see us activate that. That's going to allow us to now search our deck for the new one here. New one's going to summon, which allows us now to then dump a copy of a spell trap. And they just scoop it up here. Rather than the game is going to be lost, we don't need to sit and waste more time, especially approaching so close to game number 3. Or say approaching the time, I should say, into that game number 3 here. So we are going to be seeing the White Forest deck end up taking game 2. They definitely would have had that, being able to summon back out. We would have gotten one draw off of the copy of Garua, but that's not going to make that much of a difference when your opponent's setting up the full combo and letting us add back the trap cards and really whatever else we want to. Having a pop on the field, which is going to let us summon out, which we push back once again. Essentially means they're going to go full combo every single turn. There's not much we will do on one card. We saw like the first game there, they actually used all 5 cards in their hand. I think it was actually 6 cards in the hand to kind of break that board there, and they still were able to play with the copies of the Phoenix cards in the follow-up turn. They just had enough to kind of outplay them. Now, dive into game 3. We are going to be seeing the Regenesis Kashtira deck end up going first. Now, activating a Pressured Planet, going to be searching our deck, and will they get drolled on resolution of this? We do opt to Ash it here, maybe hoping they have no Kashtira cards, but they have a Fenrir instead, so summon with the Fenrir, letting search for the Unicorn, and that's going to now be the 25 buy that we need for the Regenesis monsters here. Now, unless we have Archfiend in the hand, it's going to be pretty hard for us to kind of continue. We do see them attempt to summon with the Warrior, but they cannot because it is his state's original attack and defense. And even though Pressure Planet does boost him to the 25, it's not going to be the original attack. It looks like we don't have Archfiend, but we do have an Ash, I guess. It looks like we have Archfiend. Or it looks like we have the other one there, the big guy, Lord. We're going to be seeing them banish Warrior for Lord, but Lord actually cannot do that. It has to banish on the field, not in the hand. That's if it's in the hand. We do see them set the Regenesis spell, which then can activate, allowing us to search for the Archfiend. And then we are going to be revealing to summon out the Archfiend here. But yeah, we actually cannot do this. And that's going to search for the Lord. Or the Sage, but we're going to see Sage summon itself out, and then we do overlay up into a Flare Metal and pass turn on this. I don't know if I get rid of Sage, but we're trying to go for time. We do see them activate the Sinful Spoils, going to be pushing that back. They do take 500 for this off of the Flare Metal, and then we activate the White Forest field spell in this case, and I do believe time gets called here. Which is going to be very unfortunate for us. But they do continue to play. Okay, so we are going to be seeing right now White Forest end up losing. This is going to be time. Time does get called. They have 3 cards in their hand, and the opponent has 2. I don't believe they have any other interactions. They do Ash the field spell. Probably feeling pretty confident about this. We do see the Ozette going to be sending the Phoenix within Paradise summon itself out. Having that in your hand going second, but having it in your deck going second is going to be even crazier as well. We do see that going to be added there. Now they're down to 1 card and no other interactions. But they are going to be essentially just winning this game. Let's maybe find a way to burn them. It looks like we have Deception in the hand as well. We're going to be seeing the back going to be activated, sending the copy of the spell that we end up searching for here. That is going to allow us to add the copy of the Howled Azamina. We're going to set back that spell. which allows us to add. Now we're going to be seeing the Elzette summon herself out. That's going to then see us activate the spell as a search. I believe it's called Beware. I should refer the other one, the Diabell of the White Forest. Then we're going to send the summon out here. We're going to activate the effect, allowing us to send from our deck. And we do opt to send most likely the Curse of Diabells here, which is going to let us add a Sinful Spoils from the deck to the hand, or add a Diabell spell trap here. Going to be adding the Fila, which lets us add a Diabell monster, which can be most likely Diabell Star, or the Vengeance in this case. We're going to be seeing the Deception going to be activated here. It's going to be absolutely insane because it does have the secret burn effect most people do not realize. We're going to send the Diabells to the graveyard to let us search our deck for Hallowed Azamina. And I wonder if we know what the secondary effect that lets us burn and gain. We're going to be seeing them link away into Requiem, or Moon into Requiem here. We're going to activate the effect, allowing us to go now into the Lacrima. We're going to be going for the Engraver line. And if they don't realize that they link away the copy of Desiree, they're going to just win the game if they remember the Deception effect here. We're going to see them make the sequence. It looks like that's exactly what they're going to go for. They're going to put back, and I would not see any reason to do this without having like, why would you continue playing if you just did not know about the effect here? So we're going to go up to the copy of Moon once again, and we do send the copy to the graveyard, and that's going to burn for 15 and gain 15, and that's going to be just enough for game. We see the White Forest deck end up squeezing game through this with the secret effect of the Sinful Spoils. It looks like they were not deceived, and they knew the hidden effect. Read your cards, and it will win you games when you should not be winning them in time, especially when you just combo off. We could have seen Droll being dropped, which definitely would have hurt that exact combo here. But regardless, it paid off, and we see White Forest end up getting the win here. Regardless, hope you watched the video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, more content on this. Stay safe. Peace.